the day. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 1 of the NFL Preseason on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Well, the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and fourth is a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Smith catches left side. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 36.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Now Cook running right. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On the carry, it's Cook. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, Cousins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Cousins now. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is 3rd and goal. Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This, a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
I've always loved Teddy Bridgewater. A lot of people have underrated him throughout his career. Remember, this is a guy who's battled back from a horrendous knee injury to find his way back as a starter in this league. More than capable right arm, tremendous leader. This guy knows how to make plays in the clutch.
This defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now Gordon on first down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Second and 8. From the gun, Bridgewater. And it's incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy. And it's third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, That's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They go play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And McManus able to put it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
From the 29, Cousins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On 3rd down, Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now a man who punted for the Broncos for 6 years, Britton Colquitt on to kick it away. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
This is Gordon. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Bridgewater. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second and 11. Bridgewater now. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
2nd down and goal. Bridgewater. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Albert Okuebuna there to make the grab. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. after the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They start the drive with Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And all the way up to the 46. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings feature back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins to the right side and complete to Jefferson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he stopped immediately there. And on the stop there, Alexander Johnson, the Broncos' leading tackler last year.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action now, Cousins. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Now, CD, you take a look at this draft class from this offense, and they went defense with their first-round pick.
Yeah, and you and I both know there were a lot of good players on that list, but this was a defense that was in need of an infusion of youth and speed, and that's what they got.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. First week of the preseason, probably not the pass, the impression that the rookie wants to leave right there.
Yeah, no probably about it, because that's not what you want to do to try and impress your new coaching staff, try to impress your locker room, and most importantly, yourself. Probably spent all night last night saying, don't throw an interception early. Make sure you take care of the football. But now he's got it out of the way. Hopefully he can just settle in and move on.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 39, Locke. Incomplete.
KJ Hamler, the intended receiver.
And it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mond out of the shotgun. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Bond going to throw it. That incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had 1 pick. Could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Drew Lock once again leads the Broncos out.
I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
Not more than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Here's Locke to throw. That's complete. It's Damian Willis. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. After him, and they get there for the sack. Patrick Jones brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll start on the ground with Madison. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mond looks to throw. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
And a run like that shouldn't surprise anyone who's ever seen Javonte Williams play. Compact, strong, physical runner. He ran for 1,000 yards at North Carolina last year. In fact, it was over 1,100 and 19 touchdowns in addition. And that's despite sharing the backfield with another 1,000-yard rusher, Michael Carter, who was taken in the 4th round by the Jets. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were taking over him, but many thought that Javonte Williams might be the best back in the draft.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Block off of play action. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath, sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can't he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Locke. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Comes Minnesota, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Second down at 7. Off the play fake, Mond. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere. But it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 38, Locke. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Willis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Patrick Jones there on the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Clock now to throw. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, it's Freeman, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Broncos. Royce Freeman, 29 yards, and the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now a give to Madison. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Mon. He'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, it's Madison. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. He'll find Smith-Marset complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 28. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Mond looks to throw on first down. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. Not much there, only a yard. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on second down. Mond to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Here's Mond. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chad Beebe there to make the grab. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is what, 3-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Clock now on first down. This pass caught by Hamler. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing now is Locke. That's complete to Darboh. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now Locke.
That's complete. Okuebunam.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
On 1st down, Locke.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Second and 10.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Locke.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus.
On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Going on the ground with Madison. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter of play. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Lock going to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Willis. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run on first down. Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second and 11 now. To throw it is Locke. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2nd and 6. Shotgun snap to Locke. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone, possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
They'll run with Madison. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They go play action here. Mon. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On first down, it's Freeman. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 30 on second down, Locke. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So that now back-to-back drive, CD, that have ended with an interception.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd call my quarterback over, put an arm around him, and say, hey, take a look at the scoreboard. We're playing with a lead. Let's be smarter about what we're doing out there.
They'll run it with Madison, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Looking to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Madison. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Joseph on for the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. We see Drew Lock in the offense coming back on. He has to sort of pick himself up off the mat now, Charles. They were winning at halftime, now losing, and he's not playing well. Sometimes you get into a position where you get a little bit too greedy. You feel great about how you're playing. Good first half. Hey, I can do even more in the second half. And then you make throws that you're not supposed to. As you said, he's got to start to turn things around. See if he can erase those 2 third-quarter interceptions from his mind. They'll run on first down. It's Freeman, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions. Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play. Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Lock. He's got that one complete to Darbo. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage. third down. Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They fake the handoff, now Locke. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On third down, Freeman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
You know I'm old school, so I always want a hammer in my backfield. But in short yardage situations, third down pickups, I got to have him. And he picked it up for him right there.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They look to throw. It's Locke. And this one is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing his Locke on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Denver. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll start on the ground with Madison.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
A Good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw here. That's taken in by Smith-Marset. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route, Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and it curls back inside for the completion.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun. Lock. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 41-yard line.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports.
Three yards remain for 2nd down.
Back to throw. Lock. Gets it off to Freeman. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A 20th carry now for Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That's a strong safety making a strong, hard tackle.
And we know his coach. Doesn't smile a whole lot, does he? How about that grin right there, ear to ear after that play?
Now Lock throwing on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And McManus able to put it through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Vikings head out to take over once again. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles around the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 31, Mond. The throw complete to Beebe. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Draw play, Madison. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the gun, here's Mond. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Oh boy, he fielded it right on the goal line and only able to get this to the 5-yard line. Bit of a mental breakdown there. Not sure why he left the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. On 1st down, it's Freeman. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 73 yards on the ground for him so far. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Freeman. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Lock. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Play action. Now it's Locke. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
On 2nd and 7, Locke. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This a 43-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On 2nd and 7, Mond.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Running from the shotgun with Madison.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
From just shy of midfield, Mond. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And growing pains as an NFL QB, they're going to happen. He's played pretty well in this one. They still have the lead, but those moments, interceptions, pick six is occasionally going to happen.
Rookie. It happens, right? Just what you mentioned. Played pretty well in this game, and now his teammates will jump in and go, okay, we're having a good game. That's one blip. Let's go ahead and get back on track right here, right now, and we'll be okay.
Now McManus for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And his pass, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Mond out of the shotgun. And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Mond going to throw it.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help him a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Here's Mond. They're going for it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the 22, Locke. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
On 1st down, it's Freeman, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Locke to throw. Open man Hamler, that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And McManus able to put it through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Mond and the Vikings now down by 15. 2:25 remaining. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Back to the air, Mond.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 10.
Mond looks to throw. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now Mond.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Mon. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mon. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 15. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll eat some clock with Freeman. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Freeman again. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Locke, he's set to take a knee, and that should do it for this ball game. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.